Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Just through the Spirit. And again, it's through the Spirit because I was gathering up some precepts, just meditating. I had a completely different topic of mine at hand, but again, man, all things are through the Spirit. The topic hit me. I was watching one of the elders, um, which the Water Yahweh Shemel Shai had the pleasure of meeting um, the other week from, I believe, Birmingham, the Araram, as well as a pair of other brothers of the Akim. It was a beautiful experience. you know, um, like I said, I was just watching the elder's video. Had the pleasure of meeting the elder, and like I said, I was out wild because that's something I typically do. While I'm trying to meditate, um, go over certain precepts. I might have a topic at hand. And while I'm doing that, talk about Jake multitasking or whatnot. Because lots of times while I'm doing that, I'm watching. I got brothers' videos playing in the background because you can't get enough of hearing brothers' voices, man. Just through the Spirit, hearing brothers' voices that keeps me sane. And I'm sure I can speak for all of us. And nevertheless, I don't even remember what video I was watching, but again, it's all through the Spirit. I was just while I was meditating, because like I said, I had a completely different topic on mine on hand. But the elder, he was making certain points. I'm just like, man, I gotta touch on this real quick. I gotta touch on it. The Spirit is, like some brothers be saying, you gotta strike the iron while it's hot. Because I was just getting ready to end my night off, but hey, I'm kind of fired up right now. So hey, let's see where the Spirit goes with this. But nevertheless, because Babylon, aka America, is gonna be a public example number one. All right, Babylon, aka America, is gonna be public example number one. Okay, because outside of why this internet, the main reason why the internet was created, which was to preach this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, the gospel to be preached throughout the four corners of the earth. Another major reason why the internet was set up was for judgment to be publicized. Because when you going back to the law, all right, when you go into our laws, man, hey, oftentimes, judgment when it came down to individuals getting stoned, right? It was a thing of, hey, everyone needs to witness, everyone needs to see, because hey, that's how you. Let me go to get this real quick. Let me say this, when I don't forget it. Let me go ahead and say this. Because I only had this precept that I was going over, and that's what prompted me to do the damn thing, right? Jake be saying, do the damn thing, But as I always say, the Spirit gonna do what it do. What was I just saying, man? See, that's why you gotta strike the iron while it's hot, cause just like that, it slipped my mind. Forgot what I was saying. But yep. Bear with me real quick. Bear with me as I look for this. It's on the tip of my tongue. Bear with me. Because again, going back to why, when it came down to, people getting stoned back in the ancient world, people getting stoned, right? It would basically be like a like a picnic event, like, hey, everyone come out, witness this, right? Looking for a specific precept, so bear with me. And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to just be aware of my surroundings, because Jake around here is wild, so I'm sitting here in a car with windows rolled down, because for fuck's sake, man, I can't, I don't got no AC, so I can't blow no cold air, and it's just, man, it's whatever, man. That's why we gotta get the fuck out of here. So bear with me as I look for this Bubba Shaw. See, man, this, damn, hold on, man. I just had this shit. I just had it, man. I just had it. But if I can't find it, I just had the joint too, but nevertheless, the scriptures talk about, again, when it came to these public executions, or these public stonings, it was to basically stop the anyone that had the thought in their mind of committing adultery or whatever the case may be. All right, those public executions, those public stonings, hey, it was supposed to let Jake know that, hey, you want to follow through with wickedness, then hey, this is going to be the end result. All right, and I was basically, because you see, you got a lot of people, man, they talk about being fearmongers, us being fearmongers. Well, for one, it's not of us. All right, it's not of us. We're simply messengers. All right. First and foremost, Yahweh Shema Shai. When it comes to being a fearmonger, you're damn right the Lord is a fearmonger, because when it comes to Yahweh Shema Shai and how he wants things done, how he wants things operated, rightfully so, hey, it's either his way or the highway. And I always say, in this case, because I say that because I'll say some of us, and I was one of the fortunate ones to grow up with a strict father. To those that grew up with strict grandparents or parents, and they would always say that, hey, it's either my way or the highway. All right, and that's how you know the Lord is a Jake. Because when it comes down to it, hey, it's the Lord's way or the highway. And I always say, in this case of the highway, hey, it's death. All right, it's the lake of fire. It's destruction. A horrible death at that. When it comes to the Heavenly Father. All right. So ultimately, the Lord is the ultimate. He's the he is a fear monger, because it's either, hey, fear me or else. You don't want to get down with my program? All right, bet. Fear me or else. And listen, we're to a point where, man, we don't want no smoke, man. We're done getting our asses beat. All right. Jake is tired of him, and Jake is through. It's like, Lord, we get it. And that spirit has always been on the elect, like, man, Lord, Baba Gashaw. Especially in these times that we're in right now, man. It's just, man, Lord, please. Please, Baba Gashaw. But hey, and, it is what it is. Nevertheless, going back to the point, can't find a precept, but basically, just going into, again, this goes back to our laws, right? When someone went off, like going back to the man that picked up sticks on the Sabbath. If I'm not mistaken, hey, that was a public execution. All right, it was a public execution. Why? To let Jake know, and those public executions, it was publicized to let all Israel know that, hey, y'all want to fuck around, and hey, what's another saying? Hey, you fuck around and find out. You want to fuck around, you're gonna find out. All right, this is the consequence of going against the Habashim Shai. You see, well, hey, going back to it, man. I don't plan on making this too long, Lord willing, because as we know, or as we should know, America is referred to as a basically a woman. Matter of fact, let me go to that before I do too much rambling, because I don't have too many precepts. Like I said, I was just meditating through the Spirit, and through the Spirit, just jumped on me. I'm hot. You gotta jump on it while it's hot, man. While the iron is hot. So just through the Spirit, going on almost 13 minutes. So let's do this. Revelation 17. I'll start at verse 3. So he carried me away in the Spirit into the wilderness. All right, in America can be likened unto that wilderness. All right. More in-depth topic for another time. It says, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Again, more in-depth topic for another time. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. And you see, because like the apostle, the apostle Tahar, he be oftentimes when it comes to this right here, man, because what John the Revelator, not John the Baptist, but John the Revelator, what he's seen, man, this woman, because these and that's a stumbling block for a lot of guys right now, because just through the Spirit, starting with the apostles, we know more than the prophets of old, man. All right, what our forefathers knew of old. All right, to those that have ears to hear, and to those that can receive. All right, we know more than them that were speaking these very things back then, because Lord willing, through the Spirit, we are those men coming back. So, because when John the Revelator, not John the Baptist, but John the Revelator, when he saw this, he didn't know what he was seeing. All right, but going back to the Apostle Tahar, man, this woman, man, this woman, she was bad. She was fine. All right, That's what John was literally, John the Revelator, he was literally seeing a woman sitting upon a scarlet colored beast. All right. He was literally seeing this. And this woman, she was fine. All right. Now, he didn't have the understanding that he did today, whoever he is or whoever he was. All right. But nevertheless, whoever he is or whoever he was, in this lifetime, hey, he was breaking the same things down that he didn't understand back then. All right. But nevertheless, this woman, she was fine. All right. And that's the point. All right. This woman, because again, these laws, just the Lord wanted through the Spirit, this edifying, this woman. All right. Again, Babylon's likened unto a woman. All right. She's likened unto a whore, a harlot. Right. You see. And speaking of Revelation, I'm gonna go to verse chapter 18. Revelation chapter 18. Because again, Babylon, aka America, is going to be a public example, number one. Right? Because again, this goes back to our law, which Lord willing, I'm going to get. And it's cold, man. Man, I often think about, just meditate upon how deep this is, man. This you think you get to a certain point when it comes to certain scriptures, man. But no, man, the Lord, he hits you with a curveball. It's like, God damn, damn. Like shit. This rabbit hole, it gets deep. All right. But just going back to what I was saying earlier about how when it comes to why the internet was set up, like I said, first and foremost, it was set up for the gospel, this word to be preached throughout the four corners of the earth. So, because I'm not even going to mention names, all right, but you got certain guys that actually literally go out to different places like Africa to teach this gospel and whatnot. But that's the job. That was the main purpose of the internet. All right, this is so that we don't have to buy a plane ticket. We have to work 80 hours, 100 hours a week to buy a plane ticket to go out to another country or whatever to plant the seed, teach the gospel. No, man, that's what the internet was. That was the main reason the internet was set up for. Well, another major reason outside of why the internet was set up was for judgment to be publicized and to be witnessed. Because eventually, and you see, this is why judgment has to ramp up. This is why things have to happen at a more, magnified pace, because judgment goes forth every day. All right, the Lord is magnifying. He shows forth His power every day, but it's not enough for these people. Because even with that being said, certain things happen to where it's just like, it's questionable, right? People want to give Esau all, too much credit, more credit than he deserves, like with his blue beam projects and stuff like that. Well, eventually, things are going to be happening to where it's just, Esau, this is going to get to a point where it's just like, man, this has got to be of a higher power. This has got to be, what were those names, and that's a thing that's going to be like on the back of people's minds, man. Like, man, those guys, they were saying those names. What was it? Yahushua, Yahweh. Oh, man, I can't. Because, hey, again, the time is going to come when the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to be magnified. And how is one of the ways Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, those names are going to be magnified, is through judgment. And how is one of the avenues the Lord's going to use to magnify His name is going to be through the internet. Publicize, right? Public examples, right? Because like I said, things are happening now, and people's, well, that's fake news and Project Blue Beam, or well, things are eventually is going to get to a point where it's just like, man, people are going to have no choice but to give credit to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, but nevertheless, judgment is going to be publicized, and people are going to know. All right, and again, America is going to be public example number one. All right, because this place that people hold to such a high standard, and like the scriptures tell us, hey, America has been or Babylon, aka America, has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Everyone wants to come to America, and America, hey, in the eyes of these people, this is the greatest kingdom to ever live, right? Well, that's okay, because through judgments, all right, the Lord is going to make an example out of America, Babylon, aka America. All right, and a lot of people are going to see that judgment through the internet, right? So in Revelation 18, Revelation chapter 18, because when America's getting destroyed, and ultimately when she gets destroyed by, and again I refer to America as a she, because like I just read in Revelation 17, America is likened unto a whore, right? And what do you do with a whore? Well, not to jump the gun. Revelation 18. Bear with me as I look for this, because everyone's going to see America's judgment. Everyone's going to see Babylon's judgment. Everyone. All right. You even in Jacob's trouble, you're still going to have some places on the earth that's still going to be functioning somewhat. The societies are still going to be attacked and together and whatnot, functioning and whatnot. But nevertheless, everyone. There's not going to be a day, and I always reference when I speak on this topic, going back to the Apostle Gabar, he often touches on how, like going back to 9/11, right? That was a day that the earth so-called, stood still, right? When the 9/11 took place, hey, all eyes were fastened on that event, that moment, right? And likewise, and even on a more grand scale, when America is getting destroyed, it's going to be times 144%, more. All right. It's going to make 9/11 look like a child's play event. Because when America is getting destroyed, this is going to be a simultaneous event. All right. Yahushua coming to, deliver his elect, the chariots covering the skies, right? And ultimately, America getting destroyed. World War III, those missiles. So this is going to be an event that, hey, this is everyone's going to witness. This is not going to be, in that day, no one's going to be sleeping. All right, no one's going to be popping a woman, and this is going to be a day that, hey, all eyes are going to be on this event of America being destroyed. All right, and to those that are across the globe, how are they going to witness it? What? Hey, through the internet, through the unicorn. Everyone's going to see this. So with that, going back to this in Revelation 18, bear with me as I look for it. Matter of fact, Spirit, it's working right now. Lord willing. Revelation 18, I'll start at verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the burning slakia, when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Because, hey, all these nations, they've made their money off of Babylon, right? And when they see this place going up in smokes, going up in flames, they're going to be like, man, damn, But the point being, how are they going to see this? Because like I said at the end, it said, when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Because again, when America's getting destroyed, you're going to have, in different parts of the world, these nations, man, they're going to witness this. Because again, for the most part, some nations are going to still be intact and, functioning for the most part. Internet, is going to be up and, whatever the case may be. But how they're going to see this is going to be through the internet, right? Through the unicorn. Right? It says, verse 10, it says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is that judgment come. All right. So again, the point being, it says standing afar off. Because again, how are those when America's getting destroyed, how is everyone going to witness this? How's everyone going to see Babylon getting destroyed? This is going to be, you talk about breaking news. Listen, this is going to be real breaking news, man. All right, all media outlets, like I said, this is going to be a day where no one's going to be asleep, no one's going to be popping their woman, nothing. Everyone's going to be fasting on America as she's getting destroyed. Because again, America is likened unto a woman, a whore at that, right? Because America's judgment is going to be publicized, right? Now, just through the spirit, this is where it gets cold. Call how about Shema Rashad, because what do you do with a whore? Well, hey, you stone her with stones, right? Well, check this out. In Deuteronomy 22, verse Deuteronomy 22, verse 21, it says, "Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel." And you see again, because of the public executions, it was to be act as a warning to all those that were thinking about committing wickedness. And hey, this is because again, you talk about us being fearmongers. Listen, we're just simply messengers. All right, the Lord, yes, He is a fearmonger. Get down with His program or else, right? But it says because she hath wrought folly in Israel, and that was supposed to stop this. That was supposed to stop those public executions, man. They were supposed to stop, prevent the spread of wickedness, right? Because hey, this is why we're in this position that we're in today. Because hey, eventually, the judges of the cities, right, the leaders, right, eventually they, basically they stopped giving a damn, and it's just, the wickedness spread to one city to another. When you go through the history, man, because it starts with the judges, the leaders at the gates and whatnot, right? Well, like I said, eventually the leaders, the judges, they stopped giving a damn. They started, taking bribes and whatnot. And hey, this is why we're here. This is a part of why we're here today. But again, it says, verse 21, Deuteronomy 22 and 21, "Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you." So you see, that was supposed to be, a fear tactic, so to say, if that's, whatever you want to call it. So hey, this goes back to our law, public executions, but specifically when it comes to the law concerning whores, right? Well, hey, when you look into this, hey, again, all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai, because this shit is cold. It's cold. It's cold, right? Because those stones, right? What do they represent in today's day and age? And what's going to be America's, this whore, this great whore, right? What's going to be her judgment? Well, when you look into this, when you go into it, in the interlinear, right, on the blue letter Bible, right, and when you go to bear with me, I know it's here because I was just going through it, and that's what prompted me to do this. So it says, "Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door, the house of her fathers, and shall stone her, the men of her city, with stones." Here it is, right? So that's stones. The stones, when you go into the stones, right? Because even with Sodom and Gomorrah, right? How the Lord rained down fire and brimstone from the heavens. Well, hey, likewise, in today's modern day and age, hey, Because, you know, clearly America is spiritual Sodom, right? What's going to be the brimstone, right? That's going to rain down is going to be those missiles. Well, hey, when you check this out, those stones, right? It says in Deuteronomy 22 and 21, those stones, when you go into it, some of the definitions, I'm not going to read all of them. It says, check this out, man. This shit is cold. It says precious stones, stones of fire. And what's going to be America's judgment? Fire. A lake of fire at that, man. Those missiles, right? Precious stones, stones of fire. It says stones containing metal. Tool for work, for weapon. It says plummet. Stones of destruction, also made of metal. Stone-like objects. Hailstones, a stony heart. So yeah, man. Hey, that's the point. That's the point. The stones as material of tablets, marble, hewn stones, precious stones, stones of fire, stones containing metal. You see? Because that's going to be America's ultimate judgment. All right? The stones of fire, man. Because that's what you do with a whore. All right? You stone her with stones publicly. Let it be known. Right? Well, hey, spiritually speaking, and figure in a literal sense, hey, those stones of fire, man. America's gonna get judged openly in the public, because that's the judgment of a whore, to judge her in the public openly, so everyone can see. And when America goes down, everyone's gonna see this judgment, right? You know, and this bitch is gonna be burned with fire, man. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. Call Allah Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Barakatah Yahweh Shema Shai. Hey, you can't make this up. Look this up for yourself. I just read Deuteronomy 22 and 21. The law going into stoning a whore. Well, that's going to be America's judgment. This whore's judgment. All right, publicly. You know, because like I said, outside of, you know, first and foremost, this truth being pushed on the forefront. Hey, another major reason why the Lord created this internet, the unicorn, was for judgment to be publicized. And ultimately, America is going to be judged. This whore is going to be judged publicly. It's going to be publicized. And everyone's going to see America go down, man. All right? Those stones of fire, man. Lord, wanted this was edifying. Call Halayim, like Yahweh Bashim Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully.